Oh, hi, Mama. Welcome to the Manifesting Motherhood podcast. My name is Jessie LeVay-Count, and I'm a certified life and fertility coach who specializes in the art of using manifestation to call your babies home. I'm obsessed with helping you fall back in love with yourself, step into your power, say yes to your best life, and manifest the family of your dreams. If you're trying to conceive, and you want to learn how to manifest not only your pregnancy, but a life full of laughter and adventure and beautiful memories with your babies, then you have come to the right place. My goal on this podcast is to help you see that you are meant for motherhood and provide you with the tools, strategies, resources, and support you need to step into your mama energy and bring your baby home. This podcast will serve as your weekly dose of fertile girl energy and the mindset work you need to quantum jump into your mama timeline. We're going to have an absolute blast, and thank you so much for hitting that play button today. Let's make some magic and make some babies. Hello, and welcome, beautiful baby makers, to the very first official episode of the Manifesting Motherhood podcast. I'm absolutely thrilled that you are here hanging out with me in this space, and just truly honored that you are spending your valuable time tuning in. I'm so excited to be here doing this. This feels like a literal dream. I remember taking a summer walk with my husband in 2020, and my little guy was napping away in his stroller, and being like, yeah, creating these spaces and these communities for TTC ladies who want to rise the fuck up. Yeah, that could change the world. And almost 4 years later, here we are. My heart is so full of gratitude in this moment. We've manifested over 250 babies inside my programs, and I could not be more in awe of the movement that we are creating here together. Just thank you so much sincerely from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this, Mama. I really, really mean that. So, if you don't know me, or if you haven't heard me speak on the topic of baby manifestation, then I feel the need to let you know in advance that your girl can talk for hours and hours and hours about this, because this is absolutely my heart's work and my life's purpose to help women fall in love with their lives and bring their babies home using manifestation. So I'm going to try my best. I know that people who have worked with me before are going to be like, yeah, okay, Jess. But I'm going to try my best to keep these episodes short and digestible for you guys each week, because these concepts can be super kind of deep, and I want to be sure that I'm giving you really usable, concise information here. So if you are new to manifestation or a seasoned pro, you're going to want to listen to this episode closely, because I'm going to be diving into some really foundational manifestation information that is absolutely vital for you to know if you're taking the manifestation approach to bringing your baby home. Because before we ever even think about strategies and tips and implementation, we have to talk about these concepts, because manifestation has become quite trendy, like on platforms like TikTok and YouTube. There's a lot of content out there about it, and many, many gurus out there telling you what you should not be doing, but not really anything about manifesting babies specifically. And I want you to be equipped with the knowledge on the subject so that you are, one, not wasting your time doing a bunch of stuff that's not moving the energetic needle, and two, you're actually going to see results, not just in the way of getting pregnant, but in every area of your life. I want to see massive holistic improvement for you. So that being said, in this foundational episode, we're going to answer some crucial questions. We're going to answer, what is manifestation? What is baby manifestation? What isn't manifestation? Like, what is it not? How does manifestation work for fertility and TTC? And then I'll share a little bit of my story with you and how I came to learn what I'll be teaching you, what makes me qualified to do so, kind of along the way. So I feel like, a little bit of background information is required to set the scene here. So picture this. 27-year-old me, I had freshly immigrated to Canada from the United States to be with my husband and his 3 kiddos, who I absolutely adore, by the way. Shout out to Stepmama, Bonus Mama Nation. I'm a bonus mama and blessed with a very beautiful relationship with my bonus kiddos. So even before we got married, though, we knew we wanted babies together. I knew I wanted biological babies. We knew we wanted to have more babies. So we started trying right away. And as soon as the move was all done, we were like, let's go. And I thought to myself, oh, he's got 3 kids already, so this is going to be a breeze. This will be a slam dunk. Wrong. After trying for a little over a year, I was so broken. I remember sitting drunk in a snowbank on Christmas Eve, and I could hear them all laughing inside, and we had just hit our 1-year mark of trying, and I was just broken. I felt all those same feelings, like I'm the problem, my body is broken, I must not deserve this, why is this so easy for everyone else, what is wrong here, what if this is just not in the cards for me? So I decided for us that we would go get tested. Long story short, we got slapped with MFI with very little we could do to rectify it due to several medical factors and a wide variety of circumstances, but I felt utterly hopeless. And we discussed treatment options, but I decided I wanted to get my head and my heart in a good place before we pursued that, because I was at absolute rock bottom. And if I was going to put my body through all of that, I wanted to be in a solid place mentally. So we decided to take a little time off of TTC officially. So on a long drive to a wedding that we were going to in Ontario, it was about a 16-hour drive, I decided to download a book called You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, and my life was forever changed. If you have not read that book, go grab it right now. It's the best book. It's the best. And I listened to that book 4 or 5 times on that drive. The drive was 16 hours one way. And I thought, yeah, why couldn't this work for making a baby? And so I got to work. I got to work building this newfound lifestyle. And within 2 cycles of dedicating all of my efforts to this newfound lifestyle, I felt better than I had ever felt in my whole life. I loved my life exactly as it was. It was a night and day transformation. Every day was like waking up to a new adventure, and I was like genuinely excited to see what would happen to me in the day ahead, you know? And not only that, but after those 2 dedicated cycles, I held in my hands a positive pregnancy test, trying at home. And you'll find that I don't like to use the term trying naturally, because I believe it's all natural, baby, whether you need medical assistance or not. And it made no fucking sense. But here I was, pregnant. And when I held that test in my hand, I'll never forget the moment. I made a solemn vow. I vowed that I would tell any woman who is TTC ever that this shit works, that you can be happy and fall pregnant. You don't have to be miserable. And after my son was born, I thought to myself, I need to be teaching other women how to do this, because I kept going with the manifestation stuff, and I was just watching so much magic unfold all around me. And I could have stopped at the positive pregnancy test, but I didn't. And I think that that's very telling that I kept going with this manifestation stuff. And I wanted to teach other women how to do this. And I could feel it in my bones that this was my life's work. So I got my life and my fertility coaching certification, and I dove headfirst into research and implementation. Meditation, epigenetics, yoga, neuroscience, quantum physics, you name it, I researched it and implemented it hard. I constructed a curriculum that consisted of exactly what I did and why it works. So I put together my very first course, From Force to Flow, and I'll link that in the show notes if you're interested in checking that out. I often run a sale where that's 50% off, so keep your eyes on that. And I ran it as a group program in the summer, for the first time in the summer of 2020. And 80% of the women who did that program in that first round were pregnant within 3 cycles. And I thought, damn, this really is something. So when it came time to try for our baby girl, I decided to put the system to the test again, just to make sure it wasn't a fluke. I reran the system. I got pregnant in 1 try. And I have now helped over 250 women do the same. And I don't say this to brag. I say this because it is sincerely my life's mission to make happier mamas. Mamas who are unapologetic about what they want in life and what they want to pass on to their babies, and helping them make a kinder, more loving world, make this world a better place. And the world will be a better place because we have mamas who know how to love themselves and can teach their babies to do the same. And that starts right now, before conception. And manifestation as a lifestyle is the way to do that. So with all of that, now that you know a little bit more about me and we've set the scene a little bit, I want to share with you what baby manifestation is and what it looks like. But we're going to start more importantly with what baby manifestation is not, because we have got to clear the air on some of the shit that's been circulating. So baby manifesting is not toxic positivity. I am so serious. You don't need to feel good all the time in order for this to quote unquote work. You are a human having a human experience. You are allowed to feel your feels. And the way that we do it inside my programs and containers is like, there's a very specific practice or set of practices that we use to honor those emotions and to let them be and then move through them and then we rise, right? But we're not looking to do any spiritual bypassing or any toxic positivity. And I think that you'll find that as you move through this kind of work, feeling good is a byproduct of your committed practice. It's not something you have to force yourself to do. You simply start to feel better and happier naturally. It's not trying to force a smile when you don't feel like smiling. And that is a huge common misconception about manifestation. You don't need to feel happy all the time in order for your baby to come home. You're not going to feel happy all the time when your baby is here earthside. You don't lose your baby privileges because you're in a bad mood. So we don't need to do that now, okay? Manifestation is not the same as religion. Often it's implied that the two are interchangeable, and that's understandable. Most of us grew up with traditional religious teachings, and most of those are all about having faith in something that's beyond yourself. And we tend to treat the universe the same way, quote unquote, the universe. And while you can use whatever entity and power that resonates with you, please feel free to do that. Please understand that when we're talking about manifestation and co-creation with the universe and all of that, it is you who holds the power to create your reality. You don't need to wait for or rely on something somewhere out there who is smarter and quote unquote knows what's best for you. Your desires and your deep connection to your baby are enough to allow this to come into your life. And I understand this might be a little triggering for some, so please take what resonates and leave the rest. And if you want to talk more about that in future episodes, we absolutely can. In the show notes, I have a way for you to kind of ask questions and speak with me too. So we'll touch on that in a little bit. But manifestation is also not magical words / strategies. There is a lot on TikTok saying, oh, just use these magical words or affirmations and everything you want will show up in 8 minutes, or, sleep with this under your pillow and everything will come true. While those things are fun, we actually have to do some subconscious reprogramming to change what you know to be true. What you know to be true about the world and the way that it works to get a different outcome. But I promise it's worth it because literally every area of your life flourishes as a result. I promise it's worth it. And hey, I'm all for crystals or bay leaves or moon water and all of that fun stuff. But this family that you're manifesting here, it's all your magic. It's literally you. That's all you need. And if you take one thing away from this episode, I hope it's this. You are the universe experiencing itself. You already have everything you need within you to bring your baby home. You are enough. You are so worthy simply because you are. And I cannot wait to see the family that you build. I mean that. And so, manifestation is also not something you start doing. You are already doing it. You are already manifesting every second of every day. I'm just going to teach you how to do it on purpose. Manifestation is also not the opposite of science and doctors. The power of the mind has a profound physiological impact on your body. Our thoughts create chemical reactions. They release hormones. They can statistically increase the odds of conception. I'm never going to tell anybody to not go to the doctor or advocate for their health and well-being. I'm not going to do that. The two are not opposites, but they work together like a magic duo. So keep taking your meds. But The science of how the mind works and how it impacts the body is still biological science. It's not that out there. Okay, so what is manifestation? What is baby manifesting? Manifestation is, at its core, things showing up in your life as a result of your thoughts, your actions, and your beliefs. Well, I say once again, you are always manifesting. You don't need to start doing this. We're just going to start to do it consciously. We're going to become aware of it. And everything is a manifestation. The light bulb was once only an idea, a thought that someone thought and felt into over and over again until the physical manifestation of the light bulb was birthed onto the earth. It's the conscious redirection of your energy to influence your physical reality, not with physical force, but with the laws of the universe and how things work beyond what we can see with our five senses. So how does manifesting work when you're trying to conceive? So here's the thing, mama. And when I say this, I mean it. I'm not trying to be cheeky here. But you can be absolutely miserable and still get pregnant. People do it all the time. You can fight, you can pick up your sword and shield, you can claw your way up the mountain, you can arrive at the top bloodied and bruised and broken, and carry that same mentality with you into pregnancy and motherhood. You are more than welcome to do that. And I mean that. I sincerely mean that. But there is another option available. Manifesting your babies and moving from a state of forcing it to happen and beating the ever-loving shit out of yourself into letting it flow into your life easily means it's pairing your energy work with your inspired action, with your physical work. Manifestation doesn't mean that we're going to sit on the couch eating potato chips and just think happy thoughts and bam, baby will be here. We're working on this on a physical level. You're already doing that part. That's your part. And on an energetic level, which gets to be exciting and full of adventure and delightful surprises and awe and gratitude the entire way. And it's consciously choosing to build the belief that motherhood is your inevitable future. So you have full permission to just get ready and to have the time of your fucking life doing it. When you do this, I would like to point out that it has the potential to work miracles inside of your body in terms of your fertility. Your body responds to thoughts all the time. This is, like I said, this is not that out there. You know, I use the example all the time of when you think you see a shadow in the corner of the room and like your body gets scared and you can feel the hair on the back of your neck stand up and you can feel your stomach get tight. You can feel your muscles get tense. Your body went into fight or flight because you got scared. Even though that threat is not a real threat, your body still had a chemical response to a thought. And so this is not that out there. You name it. I've seen a solid manifestation practice work through it and produce a miracle baby. I am so serious. Regardless of age, statistics, diagnosis, odds, whatever, it's happened. I have seen people start ovulating regularly again, hormones balancing, endometriosis or hostile uteruses suddenly becoming clear enough to accept a transfer, like be able to do transfer, eggs that were testing genetically poor before, now testing genetically perfect after like many botched retrievals. Energy work is powerful, you guys. Because you're used to working on things and accomplishing goals by trying to do physical things and working hard so that you can prove yourself worthy of your accomplishments. But now that you're here inside this manifestation space, you're working in the quantum field of energy, the very stuff that literally constructed everything in the universe. You have access to that field via your consciousness, so why not use it? Why not put in this effort so that the actions, the physical actions that you're taking get to work smoothly for you? And it gets to feel easy. How fucking nice would that be, huh? And what we do when we work together is we set about the task of getting your words, your thoughts, your actions, and your beliefs all on the same page so that you can start living again, so that you can start loving yourself, loving your life again, so that you can start manifesting and seeing evidence of what you want and less of what you don't want playing out over and over and over again. All right, mama. So you're walking away today with a lot of info on what manifestation is, what it's not, and how it works on your TTC journey. And like I said, these are such foundational concepts to understand before we get rolling into the next few episodes. And know that you being here, taking this in, is an action step. You choosing to understand this at a deep level is already turning the gears in your manifesting machine, which we'll talk about in upcoming episodes, and opening you up to a whole new state of allowing your baby to come home, rather than feeling like you're banging your head off a brick wall. So stay tuned, because in the upcoming episodes, we're going to be covering some action steps you can start taking to tap into that conscious creator / master manifestor power and get to letting all those babies come on home. And if you have a question for me that you would like me to dive into on this podcast, down in the show notes, I've included a link to a website called SpeakPipe, and on there you can record an audio message for me. I think it cuts you off at like a minute and a half, but feel free to send as many as you would like, and I'll get to work making some episodes that answer your questions. All right, beautiful baby makers, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you absolutely loved what you heard today, if it created a shift for you or gave you permission to look at your journey to motherhood in a new way, if it made you feel lighter, anything like that, be sure to leave me a review on iTunes so that I can keep the good stuff flowing your way, mama. And if you don't already follow me on social media, come grab the extra manifesty vibes over on TikTok, where you'll find me as @manifestingmotherhood, or visiting my website at ohimama.com. I love you so big, mama, and cannot wait to connect with you in the next episode. In the meantime, go out there and say yes to that life that baby cannot wait to come home to.